The daylight zone, epipelagic. The ocean covers most of our planet, but how deep does it really go? Let's dive all the way down to its darkest, most unforgiving depths. Our journey begins above the waves at sea level. Plunging into the water, we enter the epipelagic zone, also known as the daylight zone. Around 130 feet beneath the surface, we encounter massive kelp forests. These underwater jungles don't just provide shelter for marine life. They are responsible for producing 70% of all the oxygen on Earth. Venturing just 20 feet deeper, we reach the perfect environment for coral reefs, home to clownfish and butterfly fish. Because these shallow waters are easily accessible, they are highly competitive. Diving predators like seals, birds, and even polar bears hunt here, forcing many fish to feed quickly before retreating into the deeper, safer dark. At 200 feet down, we meet the king crab, followed by the unusual velvet swimming crab at 260 feet. Lower still, at 300 feet, lies the wreckage of the HMS Britannic, the Titanic's sister ship, which sank in 1916. Unlike the Titanic, the Britannic is remarkably well preserved and shallow enough for advanced scuba divers to visit. As we pass the average dive depth of a sea lion at 450 feet and the green sea turtle at 500 feet, we encounter the bizarre oarfish at 600 feet. These legendary silver snake-like creatures can reach astonishing lengths, with the longest on record measuring 36 feet from head to tail. The twilight zone, mesopelagic. Leaving the daylight behind, we transition into the mesopelagic zone, famously known as the twilight zone. Extending from 650 to 3,300 feet, this region transitions from dim blue to absolute darkness. Shockingly, nearly 90% of all marine life by weight calls this zone home. One of its first residents is the great white shark, typically lurking around 650 feet, though they can migrate as deep as 3,900 feet. At 831 feet, we pass the deepest point a human freediver has ever reached, a record set by Herbert Nitsch, who battled an intense 25 atmospheres of pressure without any oxygen tanks. At 1,089 feet, deeper than the Eiffel Tower is tall, we reach the absolute limit of human scuba diving, achieved by Ahmed Gabr in 2014. Descending past 1,300 feet, the historic depth of the very first bathysphere plunge in 1930, the fading light changes how creatures see. Past the height of the Empire State Building at 1,453 feet, sunlight is completely scattered. Creatures here evolve massive eyes to soak up the sparse light, like the big-eye tuna. Yet some surface dwellers still plunge into this darkness. The emperor penguin regularly dives to 1,850 feet in search of prey, swimming 5 times faster underwater than on land. At 1,950 feet, we find the massive ocean sunfish, a 5,000-pound freak of nature that lacks a swim bladder. Deeper still, at 2,000 feet, lives the Japanese spider crab. To survive the crushing 61 atmospheres of pressure, equivalent to 115 elephants standing on its back, this monster possesses a completely solid shell with virtually no air cavities inside. By the time we pass the lower domain of the monkfish at 3,000 feet, we are deeper than the Burj Khalifa is tall. Lurking right at the edge of this zone, at 3,300 feet, is the colossal squid. Weighing up to 200 pounds and measuring 46 feet long, it is a prime example of deep-sea gigantism, where freezing temperatures slow down metabolism, allowing invertebrates to live longer and grow to monstrous sizes. The midnight zone, bathypelagic. At 3,300 feet, we enter the pitch-black bathypelagic zone, or the midnight zone, stretching down to 13,000 feet. With zero sunlight, life relies entirely on bioluminescence. At 3,450 feet, the nightmare-inducing deep-sea anglerfish uses a glowing lure atop its head to draw unsuspecting prey into its toothy jaws. Their breeding habits are equally bizarre. The tiny, fly-sized males bite into the massive females and slowly fuse into their bodies, becoming a permanent parasitic mate. At 3,800 feet, we encounter the internet's favorite meme, the blobfish. While it looks like a deflated puddle of slime on land, in its natural habitat under 100 atmospheres of pressure, a compound called TMAO stabilizes its tissue, allowing it to look like a perfectly normal fish. As we descend past the big red jellyfish at 4,800 feet and the transparent glass squid at 5,200 feet, we encounter the firework jellyfish at 6,000 feet, lighting up the dark with spectacular biological displays. At 7,000 feet, the ocean floor is ripped open by hydrothermal vents spewing toxic gases at 700 degrees Celsius. Yet, the fuzzy yeti crab thrives here, literally farming and eating the specialized bacteria that grow on its own body. Past the translucent-headed barrel-eye fish at 8,000 feet, we enter a genuinely terrifying stretch home to a trio of ancient ghosts. The blunted-toothed ghost shark at 8,500 feet, the horrific gulper eel at 9,000 feet, which unhinges its elastic jaw to swallow prey larger than itself, and the vampire squid at 9,500 feet, which glides through the dark feeding on decaying organic tissue known as ocean snow. At 10,000 feet, we hit the maximum hunting depth of the sperm whale. To survive pressures that would snap human bones instantly, the sperm whale's ribcage is bound by flexible cartilage, allowing its lungs to safely collapse as it hunts for giant squid. At 12,099 feet, we finally hit the global average depth of the ocean. Right below this marker, at 12,500 feet, rests the tragic wreckage of the RMS Titanic, sitting undisturbed in the freezing darkness for over a century. The abyss, abyssopelagic. Dropping past 13,124 feet, we enter the cold, crushing abyssopelagic zone. Here, the pressure exceeds 400 atmospheres, and temperatures hover near freezing. Yet, life persists. At 14,000 feet lives the adorable Dumbo octopus, which uses ear-like fins to drift through the dark. Because it is completely pitch black, it completely lacks the ink sac found in shallow octopuses. Ink is useless when you're already wrapped in absolute night. At 15,000 feet, the delicate sea pig crawls along the seafloor. These fragile creatures are so perfectly adapted to the crushing weight of the abyss that if brought to the surface, they literally disintegrate. Right next to them at 16,000 feet is the tripod fish, which uses 3 long, stilt-like fins to stand perfectly still on the seabed, waiting for the gentle deep-sea currents to wash food directly into its mouth. The trenches, Hadal Zone. Finally, at 18,686 feet, we cross into the Hadal Zone, named after Hades, the ancient Greek ruler of the underworld. This zone is comprised entirely of deep, black, oceanic trenches. Even in this alien landscape, ancient life survives. At 23,600 feet, we find comb jellies, unique creatures that have remained structurally unchanged for nearly 500 million years. At 24,941 feet, the Earth drops into the mouth of the Mariana Trench, leading to the absolute deepest point on the planet, the Challenger Deep. On January 23, 1960, explorers Don Walsh and Jacques Picard boarded their specialized pressure sphere, the Trieste, and plunged into the abyss. At 29,040 feet, they were deeper than Mount Everest is tall. At 32,000 feet, one of the thick viewing windows violently cracked under the weight of the ocean. With no way to turn back, they kept going. After nearly 5 hours of descent, the Trieste settled at the absolute bottom of the world at 35,139 feet, enduring a shattering 1,066 atmospheres of pressure. We have used skyscrapers, mountains, and shipwrecks to measure our journey, but at 35,839 feet down, there is simply nothing left on Earth to compare it to. The ocean is vast, dark, and terrifying, and we have only just begun to scratch its surface. What was your favorite deep-sea creature we encountered on this dive? Let us know in the comments below. If you're ready for more mind-bending journeys into the unknown, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Imagine If Anything. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.